Good afternoon. The headlines from BBC Look North this Friday lunchtime. A lasting legacy or a waste of money? What could becoming the UK City of Culture mean to Hull? City of Culture status could transform the economy of Hull and bring a lasting legacy. That's according to community leaders in Derry, Londonderry and Northern Ireland, the City of Culture 2013. Hull is one of 11 UK cities bidding for the prestigious status in 4 years' time. Well, let's go live to our business correspondent, Paul Murphy. Paul, it's a really big challenge faced by Hull, isn't it? Good evening. There are calls tonight from the Lincoln MP Carl McCartney for the Chief Executive of the NHS to resign. It's after a former senior hospital manager told a committee of MPs earlier today about a culture of bullying used to cover up fears about patient safety. Gary Walker says he was threatened by health chiefs when he raised concerns about targets. His claims have been dismissed by NHS bosses. Our health correspondent Vicky Johnson reports. Well, Vicky is in our Lincoln newsroom this evening. What reaction has there been to Gary Walker's appearance today?
People living on a Hull housing estate say that they'll fight new plans for a multi-million-pound pumping station which is being built to prevent flooding. Plans have been approved for the station to be built on Kingswood, and it'll have 4 times the capacity of the existing building. But it has been criticised by some local people for being too big. Amy Cole is on Kingswood at the moment. What have people been telling you today who live there?
Well, Peter, 24 hours on, and residents say they're deeply frustrated by the decision to approve plans for a new pumping station. They say they recognise that something has to be done to prevent future flooding, but say that this development is too large. They don't want it here, and they don't want it in their backyard. Well, after the floods of 2007, Yorkshire Water was highly criticised for failing to provide enough protection. So it's been trying to put things right. Look, it's got £17 million to spend on this, but residents say it's going to be double the height of the existing one, and they think it's not right for the area. They've told me today that they plan to appeal the decision.
There are claims that migrant workers are worried about their futures in Lincolnshire following new measures announced in the Queen's speech today. The government says it will look at reducing the number of people coming to Britain. Growing immigration is widely believed to have contributed to the success of UKIP in last week's local elections, especially in Lincolnshire, where the party took 16 seats on the county council. Our political editor Tim Ardell reports.
Lincolnshire's Police and Crime Commissioner has told a group of senior MPs today that he was right to suspend his Chief Constable earlier this year. Alan Hardwick was giving evidence before a parliamentary committee. It also emerged that the High Court case involving the suspension cost £50,000. Our reporter Amy Cole was watching the meeting, so no apology from Alan Hardwick then today.
Absolutely none. Alan Hardwick appeared before a meeting tabled by the Home Affairs Select Committee alongside 2 other police commissioners from West Yorkshire and Suffolk. The chair of the committee, Keith Vaz, asked Mr Hardwick if he regretted his decision to suspend his Chief Constable, Neil Rhodes, a decision that you may remember was described by the High Court judge in the case as perverse and irrational. It emerged that the cost of that High Court case was £50,000, which Mr Hardwick claimed was news to me. The committee asked him if he would pay the bill personally or if the money would come out of his policing budget. Alan Hardwick also explained that he's never once appeared before the Lincolnshire Police and Crime Panel set up to scrutinise the work of the Commissioner, to explain his decision to suspend and then reappoint his Chief Constable, Neil Rhodes. Alan Hardwick, who has no prior policing experience, said he felt that the government could have given more support to commissioners, saying, "We're the people who decided we were going to grasp the poison chalice because we thought we could make a difference."
Playing football in a mobile cage in the centre of Grimsby. For these young people, it's the difference between keeping busy or getting involved in criminal activity.
Nice and easy, drop, yes.
Like the park around there here, we used to go on there for drinks and that, and when we've had a few drinks, go into town and just fight. But then I stopped drinking because Lee talks to me about drug courses and that. So I stopped drinking and stopped fighting because I think they're looking for trouble.
Over the past 5 years, the police, youth groups and North East Lincolnshire Council have been working in partnership to try to engage with teenagers. But the council says there's still more work to do.
It could mean street-based provision, it could mean specialist work, for example, in terms of child sexual exploitation. It could mean centre-based provision, it could mean holiday activities. It really does depend on what the evidence is telling us and what the need is.
Boxing after school. Chris Boyle, a PCSO, has spent the past couple of years trying to give young people a sporting focus in the small village of Witham St Hughes in Lincolnshire.
It's 33% reduction on reported incidents of antisocial behaviour and criminal damage, just using them two parameters. But it was a problematic estate, so it has helped.
According to national figures, the Lincolnshire Police Force area has one of the lowest levels of antisocial behaviour in the country. Improvement came when 61% of people told Lincolnshire Police that antisocial behaviour was their main concern. In North East Lincolnshire, crime involving youth-related antisocial behaviour has dropped by 60%. And in North Lincolnshire, youth reoffending rates, which used to be at 27%, have fallen to 4.9% so far this year.
Life on this North Lincolnshire estate has been tough for these women, but a residents' association set up to deal with littering and troublemakers is proving extremely useful.
You can walk about now without breaking your neck over beer cans. You can walk down the street without needles on the floor. And that's the way it was.
All agencies agree that if crime is reduced, it's ultimately a saving to the public purse. Amy Cole, BBC Look North, Lincolnshire.
What more can you tell us about Hull's entry and Hull's boat then?
Peter, the community of Hull, which includes businesses, schools and charities, have clubbed together to raise £24,000 to buy their own boat. It's a huge achievement, and tomorrow one hull of a boat will make its debut in the Superstock Championship. Now, I was speaking to a couple of the other competitors earlier today, and they said that racing in the Humber Estuary is quite a big challenge because they have to come up against rolling, continuous waves unlike the choppiness of the sea. In fact, one of them described piloting his boat as like harnessing a raging bull. So it's going to be an interesting experience for the crew of one hull of a boat because they've not really done this sort of thing before. Well, Peter, there are 3 races taking place over the weekend. The best vantage points are here at Hull Marina and also at St Andrew's Quay. So tomorrow, the warm-up starts at 11 o'clock, but the first race will kick off at 1 o'clock. Then on Sunday, there are 2 races. The first one will start at 12:30 and the second one will start at 2:15. They take about 30 minutes for each race, with the winner expected to be on that podium around 3 o'clock. So let's keep our fingers crossed that it's the crew of one hull of a boat.